Yeah, 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 yeah. What up, peoples? Yes, we're starting. All right, I think I'm live. I'm gonna give this a second to catch up to itself as I roll one. We'll talk about some very important things today, but I'm gonna give this timer about let's go with just say 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So from right now, we're gonna go 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So if you want to skip to let's go to the 3 minute mark. If you want to get to the good part, I'm gonna let my live stream pick up, and I'm gonna start at the 3 minute mark. So you can feel free to skip to the 3 minute mark unless you wanna sit here and watch me roll this blunt. I will begin in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Want to say what's up, peoples? Hold on, let me get all this set up. Yeah. Okay, so I will be starting in about 2 minutes. Getting all of this ready. About to take a flight. You dig? You dig? You got PCOS? A lot of people got PCOS. That's what we're gonna talk about. I'm glad you made it. Glad you made it. We talk about PCOS. Talk about diabetes. Talk about all that good stuff. Talk about prostate cancer. Very, very, very fun stuff. Very fun stuff. We got how many? We got 1 minute and 15 seconds. Brother K-Blao. Intuition galore, what's up? Hey, I want to apologize to you because I didn't realize you had changed your name. I know who you is. I didn't know who you was. I know you know what I'm talking about. We did that video, and I didn't know who you was because I didn't recognize your name, Intuition galore. But I know who you is now. I didn't know, it took me a second, but I finally caught out. So, put it out there live on video. Shout out to Intuition galore. We go way back. Two Blunt Chuck, what up, bro? What up, bro? What up, peoples? Yeah, I fucked up. You gonna laugh at me now, huh? You gonna put the emoji up there? You gonna laugh at me? I admitted I fucked up, and you gonna laugh at me? It's fucked up. I'm gonna do that shit again. What up? Who else we got in here? Hold on, man. Let me twist up real quick. You know what I'm saying? 30 years later on diagnosis. Yeah, a lot of people don't know they got PCOS. There's a lot of people out here with PCOS don't know that they got it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's really it's really something a lot of people are just now discovering. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just end up with diabetes and don't know how it led. How one thing led to another. Intuition galore. Yeah, we good. You know what I'm saying? So all right, so we're at the 3 minute mark. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy K-Blao Hood X. We are in this bitch. I was supposed to have this blunt rolled by now, but I don't. So I'm gonna do it real quick. But I just want to talk to y'all about a couple things. Hopefully this video won't be too long. I'm gonna try to stick to the point. If you are new to this channel, I talk about a lot of different things on this channel. Some of them are mainly astrology. I also talk about comedics, ancient Egypt, things of this nature. It's different types of spirituality. I also discuss things about Christianity, also health. Sometimes I get on here, I show people the milkshakes that I make, not milkshakes, smoothies that I make, vegetable smoothies. I talk about vitamins. I talk about health. I talk about a lot of things on this channel. If you are new to this channel, it's very hard to box this channel into a niche per se. You know what I'm saying? But talk about all type of shit. So today I want to talk about fertility, hormones, things like this. And then a lot of women and men, you know what I'm saying, suffer from this, but don't know this because this is some, I don't want to say new thing, but it's like, it's something a lot of people just don't talk about on the internet. A lot of people do not connect the dots when it comes to doing research. There's no information I can find about this specific, what I'm going to talk about. A lot of things on on my channel deal with information that is very rare and hard to find. So a lot of times I find myself being at the front of the thought toward like pushing the certain sets of information that's not like you can't really find a lot of information on. I try to be that person on YouTube so like when people go look it up that they find my video. So I could not find a lot of information on this specific topic. You know what I'm saying? I was researching because I know I know a lot of people with PCOS. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, they didn't even know they had PCOS. And I introduced it to him. You know what I'm saying? Just doing research. Actually, I was doing research on diabetes, which my mom has diabetes. You know what I'm saying? And my mom, not just my mom, I know a lot of people in the black community and the white community, you know what I'm saying, that have diabetes. It affects a lot of people, black and white, all over. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, like, you go overseas, like, you don't see diabetes all over the place like how you do in America. Like, you don't see prostate cancer as pertinent as you do in as other black men across the country as you do in African American. You know what I'm saying? A lot of African Americans think that they the only black people on the whole planet. It's a whole nother fucking search. It's like African Americans are not the only black people on the planet. You know what I'm saying? But like a lot of times we forget this shit. There's a difference between black people and African Americans. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of African Americans suffer from prostate cancer more so than other black men across the country. And I started to notice this. I was like, man, there's something here with this. And then you know, black women catching more diabetes than any other race people across the world as well. And I was like, man, what the fuck is this? So I started doing more research. You know what I'm saying? My mom had diabetes, and I came across more research. I was learning about PCOS, and I started to meet people who had PCOS. And basically, what PCOS is matter of fact, you know, I ain't gonna. I'm gonna let you see for yourself. Hold on. Let me get this shit set up. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show y'all. Hopefully, YouTube don't flag this video. I can get this shit right. Stop. See, we in a retrograde. They just started, I think, yesterday or today. So this is probably not the best day to do this on. But we gonna make. See, look at that. I'm gone. Okay, there we go. We gonna make it. Hold on. There we go. All right. So if you go to YouTube, you type in PCOS. We're saying this is the video. Hold on. She explained this real good. Let me see if we can do this. We are in a retrograde, so. Hold on.
Causes are not completely understood. Interestingly, the ovaries may develop cysts, but that is not necessary for the diagnosis of polycystic ovary syndrome. Many patients who have polycystic ovary syndrome, or PCOS, are overweight or obese, and it is one of the most common polycystic ovary syndrome, or ovaries may develop cysts, specific disease, and the cause or causes are not completely understood.
That's bullshit. The causes are completely understood, and that's exactly why I wanted to make this video to explain to people. They think that this is just some type of shit that is just happening, and it's not. And I'm going to explain to you exactly why. Like, they say this, you know what I'm saying? They don't understand where PCOS is coming from. That is total bullshit. And I'm going to show you distinctively exactly where PCOS comes from. But a lot of times, people don't understand what PCOS is. So that's why I just want to give you a quick research on what it is. And I'm going to show you.
Interestingly, the ovaries may develop cysts, but that is not necessary for the diagnosis of polycystic ovary syndrome. Many patients who have polycystic ovary syndrome, or PCOS, are overweight or obese, and it is one of the most common hormonal problems in young women.
Okay. What else you got for it?
In a normal menstrual cycle, the brain makes the hormone GnRH, which is released into a special circulation going to the pituitary gland. The pituitary gland then releases two hormones, FSH and LH, which travel in the bloodstream to the ovary, causing the ovary to produce an egg. The egg will then travel to the uterus, and if fertilized, will stay in the uterus. But if not fertilized, it will be shed, and the woman will have a normal menstrual period.
Got it.
We think one of the primary abnormalities in PCOS is the abnormal release of the GnRH.
Bitch. So what the fuck did she just? Okay, pause. Hold on. What the fuck this bitch just said? She said, "God damn it, GnRH is some normal shit that's supposed to go. You know what I'm saying? Push this liquid into your pituitary gland, which is the shit that when you go through puberty that develops your natural hormonal system. Like, so, you know, like if you're a woman, you know what I'm saying, you start to grow breasts, your hips start to grow out, you get a period. If you're a boy, you know what I'm saying, your voice gets deep, your testicles drop, you start growing hair down there. You know, this is puberty shit. You know what I'm saying? So as you go into puberty, your body starts producing more of this thing called GnRH. So I'm saying that in turn causes a chain reaction of these other things called FSH, which is the follicle stimulant. It's a follicle hair stimulant, and LH, you know what I'm saying, which is called lutein. You know what I'm saying? So this would create the egg in a woman. You know what I'm saying? Now pause. I want to take a step back because I want to talk about, before we go any further, I want to talk about the Scarab beetle, which is an ancient Egyptian way that Egyptians used to measure the fertility of a woman. Now, they used to use this as a symbol as a way to measure the fertility of a woman. So a lot of times women used to collect scarab beetles and they used to wear jewelry. Like to this day, you still see women walk around with scarab beetles and things like this. It's really supposed to symbolize resurrection, fertility, you know what I'm saying, in a woman. Now, I'm gonna go to scroll down right here. This is the Wikipedia on scarab beetle. I just want to show you this one part right here. It says, in ancient Egyptian religion, the sun god Ra is seen to roll across the sky each day, transforming bodies and souls. Beetles in the family of blah 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 roll dung. This is a dung beetle as balls of food and as a brood chamber in which to lay eggs. In this way, the larvae hatch and immediately surrounded by food. For these reasons, the scarab was seen as a symbol of the heavenly cycle and the idea of rebirth or regeneration. The Egyptian god Capri, Ra, as the rising sun, was often depicted as a scarab beetle and a scarab beetle-headed man. The ancient Egyptians believed that Capri renewed the sun every day by rolling it above the horizon, then carried it through the other world as off the sunset, only renew it again the next day. You see what I'm saying? So, what does all this mean? They said the Egyptian. Well, I'm gonna show you this first. The scarab beetle. You see right here. This is the same thing. Scarab. You see him pushing this little ball. This is what they're talking about. Or they call it the dung beetle. It will push about up to one point. It can lay up to 200 eggs inside this ball that it would push. So in case the eggs hatch, they would be inside this. They would always have food. So the other thing too, like when ancient Egyptians, when they would go into the dirt, like when spring would come, if you dug into the dirt and you saw beetles inside the dirt, that means that the dirt was fertile. Whereas like if you dug into the dirt and you didn't see nothing in there, you didn't see no type of leaf, you didn't see no worms coming up, or especially beetles, then you knew that this was bad dirt. So you knew that the soil was more fertile because it could support the life of the beetles. You know what I'm saying? And their eggs. So they would lay their eggs in this fertile soil. So it was the same thing as a symbol of fertility and dealing with the eggs. It was also like what you see right here, it says 200 eggs, that they already knew that the scarab beetle could produce 200 eggs in one lifetime. Just in one cycle for 3 years. You see what I'm saying? So the ancient Egyptians applied the same concept with women, and that like they already kind of knew like they could measure the fertility of a woman by already kind of knowing how many periods does a woman have in her life. The average woman has about 500 periods in their entire lifetime. You know what I'm saying? Now they already knew this. So what the ancient Egyptians would do, they would appropriate the scarab beetle for every one of these eggs, and they already knew it was going to be 500 basically souls that was going to travel through a woman within her lifetime. It was going to be basically 500 potential to have you know what I'm saying, to activate that seed. And if it didn't, it would get pushed up out the body. Now, pause. We only took that to take a step back. You see what I'm saying? To go back into when we talk about the hormones of a woman here in this type of same situation, in that we were talking about eggs being produced. You know what I'm saying? And so in a lifetime of a woman, there's already going to be so many eggs that are going to be produced in one life cycle. You see what I'm saying? So you're dealing with a woman with PCOS, in that these type of women may develop cysts on their ovaries. So sometimes this affects the egg. So they have a situation like we call like an irregular period. You know what I'm saying? So like certain women may go like a month or 2 months. Like a lot of women with PCOS don't have a regular period sometimes. Like they may go a month or 2 months sometimes without even having a period. Sometimes they even go a whole year. Like especially like around in a puberty. Like when they first start having periods, it'd be so irregular that like they may go a whole month, or maybe I've heard situations like a whole year, like a woman don't have a period for a whole year. This type of shit going on. So you like, man, what the fuck? What is this? Why is it back then in ancient Egypt they understood the normal cycle of a woman was supposed to lead to 500 eggs in one lifetime, but today we living in a time where the period is so irregular, people develop cysts on their ovaries. So it's like, well, what's going on here? So, and mind you, a lot of times PCOS will eventually develop into diabetes. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how it's treated. So, just want to get that background before we go.
Instead of being released in a regular cyclic manner, it is released rapidly throughout the day. This disrupts the release of the LH and FSH in a way that LH is increased, but FSH is decreased into the peripheral circulation. In response to this, the ovary makes more male hormone, testosterone or androgens, and ovulation is inhibited.
Okay, pause. So I'm not gonna go into the symptoms. You can look those up, but I just do want to reiterate on what she was just saying. And then so like this has when you have PCOS, you have an abnormal release of GnRH. that goes into your bloodstream, which causes the LH to rise and the FSH to drop. But the FSH drops, it makes the egg itself become more masculine. So you have more male eggs being produced in PCOS women than more female eggs. So the thing about this is that, like, okay, male eggs, it's more difficult to push a male egg out of a woman's body than it is for a female egg, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Like, a male egg is more conscious. I don't say conscious of itself, but it's gonna be more aggressive in leaving the body, and they're like, it's gonna try to fight to stay up in there. You know what I'm saying? So you get more irregular period because it's the egg don't want to leave. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like a female egg is just more, it understands the flow. So if you go back in the day, you know what I'm saying, the Egyptians asked, okay, how many eggs does this woman have? How many eggs is gonna pass through this woman? They would say normally 500. You know what I'm saying? Typically, half of them, 250 of them, would be women, and then 250 of them would be men. Like, you saw, and you would think in theory it would be half and half. Like, you know, it wouldn't be all 500 of these eggs is men. You know what I'm saying? But like, when you're dealing with PCOS, this is kind of what you're dealing with, and they're like, it's already predetermined that all of your eggs is going to be men because of your FSH drops due to an increase of GnRH. I hope you're following this. I'm trying to reiterate, say this. I hope you're following this. I'm showing you all this information. I'm not making this shit up. You just heard everything she just said. That the FSH produces more testosterone in the egg, which is going to in turn produce a more masculine egg. Now, this is when you get the period. Like, a lot of times women have a period and it smells like terrible. Like, you know what I'm saying? And they're like it's like a male egg. It's like when you smoke weed and it had a seed in it back in the day, and you would smoke the seed, like, it would just release this fucking stench because it was just like a strong egg. So a lot of times you have women who have irregular period like this, or they have PCOS, their period will be like super intense because it's a male egg, like constantly, consistently male egg. So this can cause, like, you know what I'm saying, like a disruption down there. Like, you know what I'm saying, unless you fix the shit. You know what I'm saying? So the testosterone in the egg causes the woman, you know what I'm saying, mind you, like, this whole reaction causes a woman to be more masculine as well. So they'll grow facial hair, you know what I'm saying, they get bloated a lot of times, and like a lot of women who try to have PCOS, they do a lot of working out, exercising to try to lose the weight, but they can't lose the weight because they're not fat, they're bloated. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you can't burn that off. Like, you have to correct your period. You got to correct what the fuck is going on inside. You know what I'm saying? This is why, like, you see, like, a lot of times they got some shit called like studs now, like butch women, or they call them studs. Like, you see, like the women who kind of like big, masculine. They even may have hair down here, and they almost look like men. You know what I'm saying? They call them studs. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these women are not studs per se. They just have PCOS. You know what I'm saying? They have more testosterone moving through their body than the average woman. You know what I'm saying? And also, this can backfire in a different way as well. And then, like, certain women can have so much estrogen that the estrogen actually turns into testosterone. It's the same thing. You get PCOS, you can get diabetes the same way. Like, too much testosterone in a woman, too much estrogen in a woman can turn into testosterone. You know what I'm saying? So, and the same thing too, like, PCOS can also develop a lot of testosterone in a woman too. So, like, you got these super, like, masculine women, you know what I'm saying, with this hormone imbalance. You know what I'm saying? Due to PCOS, due to an irregular GnRH imbalance. Hope this is making sense. So, when you talk about GnRH, you ask, okay, what the fuck is GnRH? You know what I'm saying? Now, I want y'all to notice, you know what I'm saying, between me and you know what I'm saying, I know some people who sell GnRH on the fucking dark web. You know what I'm saying? So you look up GnRH, you would think that, you know what I'm saying, this is going to stay specifically up talking about what we're talking about. And then, like what it says right here, the gonadotropin releasing hormone releases a hormone for the release of follicle stimulating hormone, which is FSH, what it said, and the luteinizing hormone, LH, for estrogen. So you would think that this is all you're going to see when you look up GnRH. But no, like, what you start to realize is that it's people who sell GnRH. Why the fuck would people sell GnRH? Because this is totally separate from what you're looking at. What was it right there? Injection. GnRH. Why the fuck would they be injecting people with GnRH? You see what I'm saying? Let me see. Wait, let me go back. Right, not that one. Let me see. Cow. Talk about hormones, right? Okay, GnRH injection in cows. So if cows are given an injection of GnRH, then enough LH is released to cause the largest follicle on the ovary to ovulate and form a CL. The new wave follicles will start to grow since GnRH is removed. Down the blah 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 blah. Hold on, fuck that. Basically, it's saying that they do this shit. Hold on, if cows are giving it, no, hold on, not that one, not that one, not that one, not that one. Right. GnRH is used for reproductive programs in cows and heifers. You see what I'm saying? They do this to make cows get pregnant whenever they want them to get pregnant, and also have higher litters. So like, it puts them into heat, and it makes them have like if like typically a cow is only supposed to have one cow. You know what I'm saying? But if you are trying to sell meat, you know what I'm saying, you need to pick up the demand. You inject the cow with GnRH, it's gonna produce, the cow's gonna make that had a cow produce a multiple amount of cows. Like they produce like 10 cows, 12 cows, depending on how much of this shit you put in them. It's gonna get them. Why can I not find, let me see if I can GnRH. I'm trying to find one I can show you. Let me see. That's one look too. They inject this shit in all of the cows. You know what I'm saying? To get to fuck with their hormones and balance. But what happens is that what do? We eat the beef, we eat the milk. I mean, we drink the milk, we eat the cheese. You know what I'm saying? And then this is what so you get all these women who developing this. But it's telling you that if you have too much GnRH, which is what they put in the goddamn cows, you turn around and eat this shit. What the fuck? That's why all these women developing PCOS. Nobody, you won't find this nowhere on the internet. I promise you. It's like, hold on, new system with GnRH, blah blah blah. Use commercially available GnRH system allow. Right here, systems allow producers to artificially inseminate cows with little or no heat detection. So you know what I'm saying? For the first time, producers have reliable systems that results in acceptable pregnancy rates to timed AI. You see what I'm saying? So, um, they inject this shit with cows to get them pregnant, whatever the fuck they want, to make them have more cows. Oh, let me see. There's a hormone produce cows to release another. Look, GnRH is a hormone naturally produced in cows that causes the cow to release another hormone, luteinizing, same shit. Luteinizing hormone in conjunction with the follicle stimulating hormone, same shit that the other lady was saying, enhances the growth of ovarian follicles that contain developing egg. Large amounts of LH also cause ovulation egg release. After ovulation, the corpus luteum forms whatever. The ovary produces progesterone, which prepares the uterus for pregnancy and prevents return into heat. During that, so it's basically telling you the same thing I just told you, and that like they fucking with the. I know a nigga sell this shit to cows, like he sell this shit to farmers on fucking line. You know what I'm saying? They sell fucking synthetic GnRH. You know what I'm saying? And he was the one that told me this shit. And I was like, wait, what? And he basically showed me all this information, and I was like, wait a minute, so like. The lady, you just heard the lady at the beginning of this shit say she don't understand where PCOS come from. You heard her say this on here. We don't understand where PCOS come from, but we understand it's from an increase of GnRH. And you go in here and you see they putting GnRH in the goddamn beef, and nobody is telling you this shit. You know what I'm saying? So like everybody is developing PCOS, and nobody is connecting these dots. I hope you follow what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? It don't take rocket science. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, you can't find this information. Let me blow my shit back up. You can't find this information nowhere on the internet. Like nobody connecting these dots. I did a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But the only reason I know is because my niggas sell this shit on the fucking dark web. That's the only reason I even know, you know what I'm saying, what the fuck this shit is. Hope you make sense. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to, you know what I'm saying, avoid PCOS, you know what I'm saying, there's a pill called DIM. You know what I'm saying? DIM is an estrogen blocker. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't put it up on the screen, but ain't that? Just Google DIM. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you a man, you take this to block out estrogen, and then there's another pill you take with it. It's called DHEA, which is a testosterone producer that helps you develop more testosterone and push out the estrogen. All right. So if a man has too much estrogen inside, too much testosterone turns into estrogen. You know what I'm saying? So if a man has a hormone imbalance, it kind of works backwards. And then like you might have too much testosterone, which turns into estrogen, which in turn turns into prostate cancer. So I'm saying women have it kind of backwards. They have too much estrogen that may turn into testosterone, or too much testosterone that turns into bad estrogen, and this causes diabetes. So I'm saying, so what a women needs to do, women need to take DIM, and then with they need to take this with a man, I said I wasn't gonna do this, but fuck it. They need to take this with a hormone balancer. Like hold on, for the estrogen, estrolibrium. This was the one that I somebody had shown me was the best one. It's this pill called estrolibrium. You know what I'm saying? Like women supposed to take. I mind you, I've seen women take this who had PCOS, and like I didn't see like their whole bodies change, like develop curves and shit. You know what I'm saying? And like their whole face change. Like it looked like they back in like they going through puberty again. It looked like they in heat. Like a lot of times women start taking DIM and start taking a hormone. It looked like back when they first went into puberty. Like they start looking like they just ready to have sex. Like they just be super damn near, what's the word? Ovulating, damn near. You see what I'm saying? This right here is called estrolibrium. You see what I'm saying? It's a hormone balance, menopause relief support for, you know what I'm saying, that like women who have PCOS to help knock they hormones back. I mean, they you know, their whole system back in place. I know a woman who took this when she first started taking this along with DIM. She had a period for 3 weeks straight. All type of shit was coming out of her. You see what I'm saying? All type of shit was coming up out of her. You know what I'm saying? And side note, something I didn't want to tell you, but I just say it real quick. Back in the day, it was certain ancient Egyptians who believed they used to drink menstrual blood. It was totally disgusting. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But like a lot of people believe, you can look this up, like they should drink menstrual blood in order to have like supernatural powers and shit like this. You know what I'm saying? So the notion of PCOS, like back then, probably would have been fucking like detrimental in that, like, it's like it's too much mass and too much testosterone being produced in the blood. So like this is what the fuck's going on. You know what I'm saying? So this pill right here, here's a side note. This pill right here, along with DIM, bring this up. It's not hard. You just look up D. Let me see. What the hell is this? Why am I in baby care? All departments. DIM. Boom. This right here, DIM. You know what I'm saying? It's an estrogen blocker. Right here. See the estrogen balance? You know what I'm saying? Men can take this too, but you don't want to take this without taking DHEA, which is a testosterone lick. DHEA. It's gonna get you back in balance. Get all that bitch assness up out of you. Motherfuckers be super sensitive, crying over all the same shit. What the fuck? Sitting there bitching, complaining about shit for 10, 15 minutes long and shit like that. Like, you start taking this shit, you get your hormones in check. Stop thinking like a fucking cow. You know what I'm saying? Stop thinking like a baby calf. Like, your brain is literally the hormonal level of a fucking baby calf. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand this. And then, like, they putting fucking GnRH all in your fucking brain, getting your fucking hormones all fucked up. You acting like a fucking bitch. Like takes this shit, get your shit straight, stop acting fucking retarded, stop acting super emotional, you see what I'm saying, and you be fucking straight. You see what I'm saying? Fuck with your boy. I'll put you on this information. Motherfuckers don't know this shit, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So this DHEA, you got DIM, you know what I'm saying? Take that, or if you're a woman, take it with extra liver. You know what I'm saying? I hope this makes sense. You know what I'm saying? This is a way to correct all of this bogus ass energy they got moving through the notion. I mean through the you know what I'm saying, through your diet and your and the dairy and the meat and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? You wanna, you know what I'm saying, maybe start for a little while watching what you eat, try to stay away from so much dairy, stay away from so much meat. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying you gotta quit it all entirely, but definitely wanna, if you got PCOS, you might want to take that out your diet for a little while. You know what I'm saying? Try to get your hormones get back in balance. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully I said something that help you out in this video. You know what I'm saying? So on that note, I got more weed to smoke. I got shit to do. It's fucking Friday. It's fucking Smith Day. I got shit to do. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully y'all got some shit to do. Hopefully you staying out of trouble. Y'all enjoying y'all weekend. But I'm gonna end this right here. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all watching. Hopefully you learned something. And I'm going to go uh, do the goddamn thing. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all watching. Have a good weekend. You.